I am coming to you live, and I'm so excited to be here today, and I can't wait to see who's going to join us here. And I've got some really exciting information for you today, and this is something that I personally have found really exciting, really inviting, and have wanted to know more about myself and feel like it's given me some answers in some of the places that I could maybe be a little confused. And so I wanted to share this clarity with you because I think it's important. So what we're going to be talking about today are the 3 different stages of love and how this relates to divorce and heartbreak and all the things that I regularly talk about with you guys, and really your love metamorphosis and coming to a full involvement in a healthy kind of love. So everything that I'm going to be sharing today comes from originally from David Deida, who, if you don't know who he is, he's awesome. He's kind of the godfather of masculine and feminine and understanding the dynamics in relationships. And also Brian Reeves, who I'm a huge fan of, also has played a part in helping me decode some of this information. So I think of David Deida as like, the spiritual master godfather, and Brian, who is also amazing, is very practical at communicating and kind of decodes all this and gives it to us normal humans in a language that we can understand. So I appreciate both of them and the work that they do. And I want to pass it on to you because it's impactful. So there's 3 main phases of love, relationships, that you can evolve through your life. So phase 1 is typically codependent, okay, we'll call it that. And it's kind of the stage of I need you to love me. So in order for me to be fulfilled, I need you to give me something. I need you to give me love. And this makes me feel good about myself. So this is, and men and women can both be in this phase. And it's typically about status, right? So there's a sense of being used that can happen. Typically, men will be, or the masculine, and this can apply to all different kinds of relationships, but the masculine is typically about sex in this stage, or basically I need something outside of myself to make me happy. And women in this stage is typically more about security, what the man can provide for her in that sense. So if I just have the right man, if I just have the right woman, or if I just have enough women or as many as I want, then I will be happy. If I just have the job title I want, if I have the car that I want, if I have the image that I want, the validation, the status, whatever, I will be happy. And this is like a needing that's coming from you, really neediness of someone to fulfill this in you. So typically in this stage, you can use and be used, or you can, they'll leave when it suits them, when they can't get what they need from you anymore. And this is where a lot of people operate who have childhood wounds / mommy, daddy issues, whatever you want to call it, who haven't healed those things yet. So they're operating from this codependent nature, and you're giving in order to get from somebody, okay? So a lot of marriages can happen in this phase 1 kind of love, and people come together in this stage and they're attracted to each other because they've got this similar kind of thing going on, and a lot of people tend to operate in relationship out of this. Now this can work for a certain period of time, for as long as you're getting what you need from the other person, but as soon as that person isn't meeting your needs anymore, you are not satisfied in phase 1 anymore. So what can happen to move to phase 2 is sometimes one partner in the marriage will be ready to evolve to the next stage, and the other partner isn't ready to go with them. And, this is where, oftentimes the person who leaves the marriage or who ends the divorce, I have a lot of clients who are like, I don't know why she left. I don't know why he left. It didn't make any sense. And they make it be that the person who left was the bad person. But that person might have just not been satisfied anymore with this kind of status of codependent love, and they were ready to evolve, and the other partner wasn't willing or ready to go with them. And so it's an opportunity for you to look at like where you're at and what phase you're ready to evolve to the next level. So oftentimes, yeah, this phase is where a lot of people come together. And so now stage 2, which is the next stage, is kind of like the bridge to stage 2 can kind of be like an FU bridge where you're kind of angry. So let's say that divorce has now happened, or failure has happened from the stage 1 kind of love. You kind of enter into the stage 2 of you're kind of a little bit pissed. So the first stage is I need you to love me, and stage 2 is I am going to love me. Okay, so I don't need anybody. I don't need anything outside of myself. And this is an independent stage. Okay, so you know, a lot of people need to get to this stage, and you need to evolve from the codependent to get here and to arrive here. But the problem is this is the cultural norm to stay here. And a lot of people are comfortable here, but there's some issues that can happen. So let me tell you a little bit more about this, this stage 2. So independent, I love me, I don't need anything outside of me. And this person is typically expecting you to be independent too. Okay, so this 50-50 kind of deal where I want you to be okay, and I'm gonna be okay, and you keep all your stuff over here, and I'll keep my stuff over here, and we're fine. And there's a shallowness to this place. So if you are in a relationship in a phase 2, it's a negotiation kind of relationship. Like you do your part, I do my part. And a lot of people can go to this place in marriage where they're in this partnership and they're operating from this. And what happens is there's a lack of polarity here. Okay, so there's not this opposites attracting thing. It's kind of this like 50-50 deal, and there's a lack of like delicious sex, and that polarity starts to disappear. And what happens is you start to put shells of protection on and become self-reliant. So the way men can kind of show up in this stage is purposeless. They have a lack of presence. They're really craving freedom and independence. And women are more closed-hearted, hardened, and their emotions begin to become suppressed. So if you're in a relationship, obviously this can look like a man not being present. He's not, you know, or the masculine not being present, and the feminine, her emotions are suppressed and she's dissatisfied. And you're not looking for anybody else to love you at this point. And you're just relying on yourself. Like, that's it. I don't need anybody else. I'm just going to love me. You're responsible for your own happiness. I'm responsible for mine. And, you know, to give or open your heart or surrender is a sign of weakness in this stage. And so this often doesn't work. As you can see, relationships can't really thrive here. And if they do, there's a lack of that delicious polarity and you know, what's needed to actually go deeper in intimacy. So in this stage, sometimes the man can become more feminine in some of his ways of, you know, I mean, stage 2, some men can literally be traveling, I mean, women too, all over the world looking for their purpose. So the man here is trying to find his purpose, what his purpose in life is. And what am I going to do with myself? And, you know, in stage 2, you can kind of be like, I don't want stage 1 because I've observed that stage 1 bullshit. And I've observed it, I've been in it, maybe in a previous marriage, I've seen my parents do it. I don't want that anymore. So I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna protect myself, and it's gonna feel safe. And you know, in this stage, the female can kind of become hardened and take on masculine characteristics of, fine, I'm just gonna be alone, and I'm gonna focus on my business, and I'm gonna be strong and independent. I don't need no man, I don't need anybody, and this is safe. Right? So a lot of people can be in this phase, and it feels safe to them. And they can get stuck here. That's the problem. So everybody needs to move from stage 1 to stage 2 to get to stage 3, which is a healthy, really juicy, intimate, polarity-filled relationship. You have to go to the stage 2 where you're independent, because you can't jump from codependence to interdependence. It's just not going to happen. You have to have this stage 2 of independence. But what happens is you can become hardened here, and people can get stuck here, and you know, just be content being alone, and which is fine up until a point, but eventually there's a period of despair that can happen here, because you're yearning, the woman is yearning for a man to come and to actually you know, take them to this, to claim them and take them to this delicious place. And the man can sometimes become just jaded too. And, you know, a lot of people in stage 2 will use language like, I just want to be alone. I'm just going to do my own thing. It's fine. I don't need anybody, whatever. And the danger there is obviously getting stuck. And you're not happy because you yearn for more, but you're afraid to even yearn for more because you don't want to let those walls down, those protection layers that you've built around yourself. So just like moving from stage 1 to stage 2 is that FU bridge of anger, and you don't want to deal with the stage 1 bull anymore. You don't want to have what your parents had, and you don't want to have what you had in your previous marriage. You know, you put up these walls of protection. And obviously you can see where that can keep you from true intimacy. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about once you've moved through stage 1, you've moved to stage 2, and you're there, you have the option of moving to stage 3. Okay, and stage 3 is really interdependent love, and this is I love you. Okay, so again, to remind you, stage 1 is I need you, basically, or I need you to love me, and I need you to love me. And stage 2 is I love me. Okay, so I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm going to give myself that love. And then stage 3 is really I love you. And what this is it's an offering place. It's a place of true openness, of yielding and loving. Okay, and this is about two people merging together and offering the gifts of love to each other and also everyone. So you can be in stage 3 even if you're not in a relationship, but it's like the openness that you have and offering your gifts of love, being awakened and really open to God in this stage. And you know, at this stage, a woman can really feel claimed and ravished by a man, would you say? Because this man in stage 3, he knows who he is, and he's on his pursuit of his life mission. He's fulfilled, and he wants to offer his gifts to this woman. And he doesn't even care how she shows up, really, because he's going to offer it to her anyways. It's not dependent on how the other person is acting. And the woman herself, she's able to open herself in this delicious feminine way that lets down the protection, that really invites the man's heart to feel intimacy with her. And, you know, she's inviting to him, and she offers her devotion to him. And the man has integrity, and he's masculine, he's claiming, and he's present. And you can see how those two things are polarity, right? It's like the magnets, and it draws them together in this beautiful union. And, you know, the way to get to stage 3 is often through despair. And you have to take that journey of the dark nights of the soul, but it awakens you to this new stage of love, of offering love to everybody. And it's really beautiful. And I personally have not experienced that kind of relationship yet, but I am moving towards stage 3. That's what I desire. But what the issue is not getting hardened into stage 2. So when you go through a divorce, you've been disappointed, this person that you entrusted yourself has let you down, the model itself has failed, it's really hard to trust. And then even if you're dating in that stage and these people are showing up that like can't meet you there, it's disheartening. And it's so easy to get hardened there and to be angry and just like, forget it, I'm just going to be alone. But what happens is you miss out on life's beautiful gift of offering love. So that the thing to fight for is a softening of your heart and to offer love to everybody. So instead of looking to somebody to give you something or protecting yourself and being independent, you are now offering those gifts. So, you know, this is really the best stage of where a relationship can really flourish, and understanding more about it and how it can happen is something that I'm interested in sharing more with you, because no matter where you're at in this level of divorce, like I said, you can be the one who is left. And oftentimes you can play that victim and think, well, that person left me and I did nothing wrong. They just left. And the truth is that person may have been yearning for a stage 3 kind of love, and you were not ready to give it. You were not ready to go there. And so they left to go find it somewhere else. And, you know, each person has to go through these stages, and sometimes it's not going to be at the same time. So the best thing for you to do is do this inner work. You know, the phase 1 person really has to work on their childhood stuff to understand why they're codependent, why they're showing up this way in relationship, and their issues that are blocking them from having this complete kind of love. And, you know, the stage 2 person, their job is to work on finding their purpose, right? Becoming independent, yes, learning how to be self-sufficient, and you have to go through that. You have to be able to not look to someone else to fulfill you, but you don't want to get stuck there. And your job is to open that heart, remove those shells of protection that you've given yourself, and offer yourself to the world as a gift of love. And then maybe you can meet a partner there who's also ready to dive into stage 3 with you. Now, if you're dating and you're wondering what the different signs are for looking for, you know, you can often tell by someone's language what stage they're in. So, you know, a stage 1 man is really going to be about sex. He's going to be about getting something from you. He's going to go sexual really quickly. And, you know, stage 1 woman is going to be looking for that security from you and, you know, be very clingy and needy. And, you know, it's just going to show up that way of dysfunction in a relationship. And, you know, if you are a stage 2 person, you have no business trying to be with a stage 1 person. In fact, you probably don't want it. And, you know, if you're in stage 2, understanding that the majority of people that you meet are probably going to be in the stage because this is the norm in our culture of what is acceptable. It's this 50-50 kind of you do you, I do me, protection, just do our thing kind of relationship. But if you're satisfied with that, that's fine. But you can bet that the polarity is going to disappear at some point in that relationship. And if you really want to go to the stage 3 love, where you're yearning for something more, when you know you're meant for something more, and you want to feel that love and offer that love, then, you know, you have no business really settling for anything less than that. And you're looking for like a stage 2 person who's ready to dive into stage 3 with you, who can look their fear in the face and make that leap, who wants that kind of intimacy. Now, you cannot force someone to move from their stage. Okay, so some of you might have experienced this when you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage and you wanted the other person to go with you and you're pulling them, or even when you're dating, you really want them to go with you, but you can't force them to. They're either going to do it on their own time, their own path, their own way, or they're not going to do it at all. And it's really actually painful for someone who is in the desire for stage 3 to be in the presence of someone who's in stage 2 or even stage 1 in a love relationship. It's almost repulsive because you're yearning for so much more, and you can clearly, once you've gone through these stages, you can clearly see where someone is and how much they're blocking or protecting or putting their walls up. And it's very disheartening. It's sad. It's sad to be around, and it can almost make you angry in a sense. And I've experienced that myself. So this is just touching the iceberg, by the way, of all these stages. So I hope this gave you a good overview of stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. And what I want to do is invite you to take the opportunity to get on a call with me, clarity call. I offer free clarity calls for 20 minutes where we can get on the phone and kind of figure out where you're at, kind of decode some of this of like what stage you're in, maybe what stage your ex was in, what stage you want to go to, and how we can get you there. And I help my clients work through these different steps to get to the place of a love metamorphosis, which is really what you want, to be fully open and giving your gifts and offering them to the world. So I want to invite you to take the opportunity to do that. And I'm so happy for those who joined me live. So I'm saying hi to all the live people watching. And feel free to post any questions you have for me here in the box below, and I will get back to you. And I want to invite you to, if you haven't liked my Love Metamorphosis, it's love.metamorphosis on Facebook. I'd love you to like that. And I also have a free group for people who are going through this journey of love. And whether you've been in a divorce or not, I specialize in people who are going through divorce, but I would love to have you be a part of that and to take an opportunity to chat with me. So thank you for joining me for this Fearless Friday Facebook Live, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.